Hello and happy Easter, swivelheads. What a better way to start Easter than with the old Geester? My friends, this is not a religious channel, so I'm not going to make it about that. But I am going to cover some Easter news. I'm going to cover some news on the red heifer, but we're going to start with hope for the future. Hope that's been pointed out to us by none less than the president of Argentina, Milei, and what he has had to say. And the example he has set in Argentina, which provides hope for the rest in the West. We don't have to go down the drain of the world trying to be established by the House of Klaus. Not necessarily. At least we shouldn't give up hope. We never give up hope as long as you have a breath in your lungs, my friends. Always try to do something to better how things are to come out. Yeah, there's prophecies, but just like this eclipse that's coming across America on the 7th of April starts, well, it does come in Eagle Pass suspiciously, but it passes early on a community known as Jonah and passes near to seven communities called Nineveh. For those that remember the story of Jonah and Nineveh, of course, Jonah got swallowed by the whale, but the whole thing was he didn't want to give a prophecy, but his prophecy was prophesy against Nineveh because bad things are going to happen there if they didn't turn around. Well, they heard a prophecy and they turned around, which means things are changeable, that you can land in a better place, even though certain outcomes may be predestined. How it all plays out might be different. How you land in the middle of it hits the fan may depend on what you do and how well you prepare, how well you get right with your physical preparations and your spiritual preparations. So be right with your maker. Like I said, this is not a religious channel, but I do believe in a greater creator, and I'll go into that more down the road here. But so let's get into it. Let's go straight to the news. First, I am going to say who's in the chat room here. I'm going to update my screen here for those that are watching with their coffee in the morning. I think it is important that it's my live chatters that keep me going here, guys. And we have quite a few in the house for this crazy wee hour in the morning. I'll try not to be as long today as we often are. So, guys, the key thing that we're going to start at here is talking about freedom, talking about independence, talking about rolling back, the oppression of government. And as Ronald Reagan taught us, and I think it came straight from Thomas Jefferson, the government that governs best is the government that governs least. And communism, socialism is a pathway to destruction. Seriously, go woke, go broke. We're finding that across the spectrum, and there's not been any exceptions to that, none. So let's go into this. We'll go straight to the news, guys. And hopefully this is news you can use. And to start with that, the best way to start your independence, to make sure you can stand on your own 2 feet in the day and age where they're trying to challenge our food supply, is to grow your own. Not only do you get the benefits of growing a garden, which actually has physical benefits and psychological benefits, but you know what you're eating, you know what you're getting, and like all that stuff that they're filling full of chemicals at the store, and if the grid goes down, those store shelves will probably be empty. They will be if the grid goes down. It's when the musical chairs stop, when the balloon goes up, what you got is all you got. So you can get you some seeds, get them now, and get extra seeds, guys, because it's going to be a great barter item in the times to come. Seeds will be like money, maybe better than gold, because you can eat what you grow with seeds. So I highly encourage you to check out my links to True Leaf Market. And I don't have a discount code for True Leaf Market or Eden Brothers, but if you use my links, I get credit for it. If you just go on the website, I get no credit. I do get a little kickback, a finder's fee, if you use my links. But anyway, True Leaf Market has heirloom seeds, which if you plant them, you get the same plant back if you harvest your seeds. And you need to harvest your seeds. They're non-GMO. And that's what they've been since 1974. Yeah, all that time. Wow, 50 years of heirloom seeds, guys. And Eden Brothers has the same kind of thing. And we got the same deal with Eden Brothers. So if you don't find what you like in one site, go to the other. Between the two, you should find something that you would find useful for your garden. All right, let's get into it here. President Javier Milei, he's pledged to cut 70,000 state jobs in Argentina. He's taking action to get this started now over the course of the coming months. What is this? A politician that actually lives up to his chainsaw, to his campaign promises? Wow, that's a rarity in our world. This guy, we need to put him on T-shirts. We need to celebrate this individual. He is something to be reckoned with. And in fact, he took this message to the very pit, the very middle of the den of vipers themselves. He took it to the forum in the house of Klaus. Wow, guys, we'll show you that in a minute too. 70,000 jobs, chainsaw austerity. He is beginning this adventure, guys. So good luck for Argentina, and it's already having positive effects in Argentina. Now, anytime you change the economy that drastically, it's going to be a shakeup. There will be a bit of an economic downturn, but guess what? It's not been as bad as what a lot of people thought it would be, and they're already showing great signs of progress. Milei gives the world a lesson in freedom. Indeed. Indeed. He says he shocked the world with his overwhelming electoral victory last year. His free market, very limited government message resonated with the people in the South American nation of Argentina. Now, guys, this is what everybody in the world really wants. They want freedom. They want to not be oppressed. People talk about, the government giving you this, the government don't give you anything. It all comes from our tax money. It all comes from the taxpayer. There's no such thing as government funded anything. It's all taxpayer funded. But the sad thing is a whole lot of what the government's funding stuff with is against the taxpayers of the future, your children, your grandchildren. That's what happens when you run a budget deficit. It's still got to be paid somewhere down the road. At some point in time, the chickens are going to come home to roost. And so you're living in a false bubble economy when so much of your so-called job growth is by creating parasitic jobs that the government. They produce no real value to the economy. The entire government and all government functions are parasitic to what could be a more thriving economy if it were more commercial. And that's the problem. And here we are at the House of Klaus website. And I don't, even though they copyright a lot of stuff, I don't think they can copyright the speech of a government official being the president of Argentina. So I will read some excerpts from this. And he said, today I'm here. This is what he told them back when he spoke to them in Dervaes. Today I'm here to tell you the Western world is in danger. And is in danger because those who are supposed to defend the values of the West are co-opted by a vision of the world that inexorably leads to socialism and thereby to poverty. Unfortunately, in recent decades, the main leaders of the Western world have abandoned the model of freedom for different versions of what we call collectivism. Some have been motivated by well-meaning individuals who are willing to help others, and others have been motivated by the wish to belong to a privileged caste. What I tell you, they're trying to knock the ladders out, those that are already at the top where nobody else can follow them. So they maintain their privileged position at the top. What do you call that? Neo-feudalism. We're here to tell you that the collectivist experiments are never the solution to the problems that afflict the citizens of the world. Rather, they are the root cause. The root cause of the problems is what he's saying. Do believe me, no one is in a better place than us Argentines to testify to these 2 points. How about that? And he went on to say, 35 years after we adopted the model of freedom back in 1860, we became a leading world power. Argentina was doing very well for a while. And we embraced collectivism over the course of the last 100 years, and we saw our citizens started to become systematically impoverished, and we dropped to the spot number 140 globally. They went from the top to the bottom, and with inflation and running in thousands of percents. So he went on to say, if we look at the history of economic progress, we can see how between the year 0, meaning the year of Christ, and the year 1800, approximately, the world per capita GDP remained constant throughout the whole reference period. And he does go on to say that, there was some exception here in the 15th century when the American continent was discovered, because that led to new resources. But he said that after that, the GDP remained stagnated at 0, basically. He said, now it's not just that capitalism brought about an explosion in wealth from the moment it was adopted as an economic system, but also if you look at the data, you will see that growth continues to accelerate throughout the whole period. And he just goes on here, and he just keeps extolling the virtues of capitalism, of free markets, of true capitalism. He goes all into this here, guys. And far from being the cause of our problems, free trade capitalism as an economic system is the only instrument we have to end hunger, poverty, and extreme poverty across our planet. The empirical evidence is unquestionable. It's like, your collectivist societies always have to build walls around to keep their citizens in. Nobody wants to be in them. Everybody's trying to escape from them to the freer societies like we have had in America. But we're also falling down this drain. So it's time we pay some real close attention to what this guy is saying here. And he spanks the international. So how come some academia, international organizations, economic theorists, and politicians demonize an economic systems not only lifted 90% of the world's population out of extreme poverty, but it's continued to do this faster and faster. He says, thanks to free trade capitalism, the world is now living its best moment. Never in all mankind or humanity's history has there been a time of more prosperity than today. It's true for all. The world today has more freedom, is rich, more peaceful, and prosperous. This is particularly true for countries that have more economic freedom with respect to property rights of individuals. It's not resources, guys. I mean, look at Venezuela. They got more petroleum than anybody in the world. And they're one of the poorest countries that there is because they have an authoritarian communist society. Singapore has zero resources and a booming economy because they believe in economic freedom and capitalism. I mean, and it's just like that around the world. So I'm not going to read all of his speech in here. It's here to be found in the World Economic Forum site. If you just search on Javier Milei, so you can see it for yourself. There's also a video. You can watch his video. And Argentina's economy contracted less than expected in January. See, they thought because he was taking over that the economy would go into some kind of recession. Well, guess what? They're doing pretty good. This is a Bloomberg's article, so I'm not subscribed to it. But Argentine markets in celebratory mood ahead of the Easter break. Hey, things are looking up over there. How about that? Let's see if I can get this next. I don't want to click forward. Here we go. Argentine dollar bonds hit record highs as Milei rally powers on. This is from March the 22nd. This is a recent article. So he's having a good economic impact over there. And this app here, this it's freezing up on me for some reason. I can't do anything with the tabs. I can't do nothing. Let's see if I can close something. Wow. My screen's froze, guys. Hang on a minute. Hey, Cowgirl in Arizona, Judy, New Days. There we go. Now we're moving. It says, after 100 brutal days, Javier Milei has markets believing because he is showing progress. This guy is on to something, my friends. And here's a video I like. Check this out. He is showing, getting rid of these, the thievery of politics is over. Long live liberty. I don't want to say ministry. He's Ministry of Culture, he's naming all these ministries that's there in Argentina, just ripping them off the board. Out. Ministry of Women, Gender, and Diversity, out. Ministry of Public Works, out. Ministry of Science and Technology and Innovation, out. Ministry of Labor and Employment, out. Ministry of Education, out. He called it indoctrination. Ministry of Transport, out. Ministry of Health, out. Yeah, it is indoctrination in this country, is it not? Ministry of Social Development, out. Look at him smiling and laughing. The thievery of politics is over. There you go. This is a politician that's got my attention. What can you say? All right, guys. We need to see there is hope, guys. There is hope. Oh, yeah. For those that normally watch my channel, just to let you know, I'm putting most of my news content, especially news of WAR, over here on Swivelhead News because the platform is attacking it. They demonetize these videos that I've been putting over there. And so I'll keep challenging them to try to get them to remonetize some. Sometimes I win, but it's always, they never do that until after nobody's watching anymore, because news is news. It's only good for a couple of days, and people only watch those videos for about half of a day, and then their shelf life is over for the most part. But I'm not going to talk about war today because it's Easter. We'll talk. We'll cut on. We'll do it a little bit, just a little bit. We're going. Hey, Space Girl. We'll go into it just a little bit with regards to the red heifer story in Israel, because that pertains to Easter. And to get back to Easter theme now, Kevin Mooney says the shroud face to face. New investigation points to the authenticity of the Shroud of Turin, according to a filmmaker. Now, as you guys may know, in the 80s, somebody did a carbon test on it, and they said, it's from 1260. But in later years, it came out to be revealed that the fibers they tested were repair fibers added to the shroud at a later date to repair it after a fire it survived in a previous, what do you call it? Not churches. What do they call them there in what the Catholics call their churches? Anyway, I have been to the one that holds the Shroud of Turin in Turin or Torino, Italy. I have actually seen the shroud. I have sat in that chapel for some time looking at it. I walked up to it. I think I got photographs of it somewhere. No, they don't allow photography. That's right. Photography is not allowed there. But I have been to that church, whatever you call it, whatever the Catholic name is for it. Y'all can help me out with that. I'm getting brain dead here for a moment. But I have been there, seen it. I have seen this face. Guys, I'm still seeing articles of detractors saying, well, it was painted, blah, blah, blah. There is no paint. There's no pigment whatsoever on the shroud. It's like a photo negative. It's like the image is like burnt on. The image is definitely the image of a man. They did not tell me if you think they actually had that kind of technology back in the day. Did I close down? No, it's not closed. It's not closed. What I did is I shut off the buttons. All right, we'll pull it up later. Green Greg's is still a website, so it's not closed. In fact, the donate button still works. All righty, folks. So the other buttons I've disabled, but the donate button is still enabled. But that's another story. All right. I've seen this, and it does have actual blood on it. These dribbles here are real blood. Where the heart was pierced, the side was pierced by the sword, or on the Romans, there is blood and body fluids, apparently water. What do they call it? Album, or I don't know what that word is, but it's all there. It's on this cloth. The cloth is said to have pollen from the 1st century in the area of Israel. It's also a case that the weave of the cloth was typical for what was made there at that time, which had a particular different weave to it than what was done later in other places. So the cloth is definitely characteristic of that. And there's another cloth that was wrapped around the head, in France, which is known to date back to that period, which the bloodstains match up with the bloodstains for this. So they all, I forget what that thing's called, but they all reinforce each other. So I think that this is a very interesting cloth. And I do believe that Jesus as a man walked the earth, was crucified, dead, and rose. And I think this cloth is testament to that. That is my humble opinion. So just stating that. Now, yeah. So I think it was the energy of the resurrection that probably imprinted that image on it. That's my humble opinion. And there's other people, some scientists claiming that there is evidence. But now he's basing all this on the historical review of documentation from the time. I'm not going to go all into that, but just to let you know that that's out there. But our administration has other things in mind. Our administration has declared the same day to be that. Why they pick Easter Sunday for that? And to make it even more interesting, when it came to Easter egg roll, they mandated that nobody could put religious symbology on the Easter eggs. Wow. All right, that's interesting. Now, we're not going to stay here long tonight, guys. We're going to make this a short video tonight. A lot of you want to get up and tomorrow and go to church and do other things. So, massive altar prepared for red heifer sacrifice ritual in Jerusalem. Now, what you need to know is they brought these red heifers from Texas in 2022. The requirements for the sacrifice is they can be no more than 4 years old, which would suggest this year. It is the sacrifice that apparently was one of the motivating factors in the Hamas events that took place on the 7th of October. I'll show you that in a minute, guys. Because they know that this sacrifice, guys, only 9 times in history was a red heifer actually sacrificed. It's a temple purification sacrifice that would be done before the construction of the next temple. So this is a rare event. It would be the 10th red heifer. So this is why a lot of people are taking this very serious. This is intended to be a sacrifice for the preparation of a third temple. And the Jewish orthodoxy that is promoting this has already got the Levi priest, their clothing, and all the stuff that would go in the temple set up. I hear they've even got construction material for a temple. The only problem is they want to put it where the mosque is, the Al-Aqsa Mosque on the Temple Mount. And that's one of the holiest spots in the religion of Islam, because that's where they believe that Muhammad rose to heaven on a white horse, I believe. It's also supposedly the site where Abraham was prepared to sacrifice his son until God told him otherwise and provided a ram. So that's a holy site in many religions, very holy site. And the takedown of that temple will start a war, a big war, if it has not already done it. Hello, pagan prepper. It will start a war. Whatever your religious beliefs or affiliations are, we have some very conflicting religious beliefs there, and it may have already started the war. So just to kind of show you this, I think it's in there somewhere, one of these articles. Is it this one? Yeah. Hamas spokesperson from Hamas gave this speech 100 days into the war that was precipitated on 7 October. He said, we look back 100 days to remember the educated, the complicit, and the incapacitated among the world powers governed by the law of the jungle, reminding them of an aggression that reached its peak against our Alcuds and Alaska. Remember, they called it an Alaska event, if you remember, the Alaska, A-S-K, not Alaska, with the start of the actual temporal and spatial division and the bringing of the red cows as an application for detestable religious myth designed for aggression against the feelings of the entire nation in the heart of the Arab identity and the path of its prophet, the night journey and the ascension to heaven. They're talking there about Muhammad going to heaven from the location of the Temple Mount, where the Al-Aqsa Mosque is today. So there it is, straight from Hamas, blaming this red heifer business as part of the precipitation for the events that took place on 7 October. So just the suggestion that this would happen apparently has already started this conflict. And if the mosque should come down, it will go crazy over there. Absolutely crazy. So, and the other thing is, yeah, here we are. This is another article, Red Heifer and a Third Temple, End Time Prophecy. Well, I don't know, guys. What do y'all think? It's definitely kicking up a lot of consternation in that region of the world. So we can expect the Mideast to be on fire, totally on fire, should that temple be built. Nothing short of a total fire. Cowgirl in Arizona, how you doing? All righty. DRC, is that accurate? It's what accurate? Temple of Apollo. Well, you know, actually, Constantine built a statue of Apollo after he started, you know, recognized Christianity as a state religion. So was he serious? I don't know about Constantine. You know, I think he did what he did as a matter of convenience because most of his troops were already Christian. He was wanting to win them over to fight a battle, trying to motivate them. That's my humble opinion. I don't think Constantine was serious. That's my humble opinion. I know a lot of people argue with that, and that's okay. Hey, yo, hillbilly, how you doing? So that's okay. If you believe in the Bill of Rights, support us all. Amen. Amen. I've said this is not a religious channel. I'm just showing you what the conflict is over there. I've told you a little bit about just a little bit. Now, my personal beliefs are a little broader than what I indicated there, but I'm not going in there right now. So now I get back to the farm stuff. You know, we talked about how Colorado decided to unleash wolves on the ranchers and farmers in Colorado. Well, guess what now? Biden's grizzly bear relocation plan poses real danger to families, livestock, and cattle. A cattle producer warns in Washington state. Wow. Yeah, they're relocating grizzly bears out into agricultural regions, ranching regions in Washington state. Another bridge tried to hit another ship. Another ship tried to hit another bridge. Are you kidding, Alaska Soul? Good grief. Well, guys, whether that was an accident or not, it's certainly going to inspire a lot of bad actors to do bad things. Holy smoke. So you can expect more of that to come. You can definitely expect more than that to come. Wow, guys. What's that doing open there? Anyway. And that solar storm we just had actually did some damage on the grid in Canada. A little bit, just anomalies, irregularities. They said the several flares that were between March 23rd and 24th, including that X1.1 flare, resulted in power grid irregularities in Canada, according to the NOAA. Not anything creating great damage. It wasn't that strong of a storm, although it was a strong storm. It's far from a Carrington event or a railroad event, but that could still be yet to come. Fortunately, right now, these big ugly sunspots have turned to the other side of the sun. We're looking at an almost blank sun right now, almost. Well, there's some new spots out here. There's a few spots. We can't say it's blank, But that looks a whole lot better than having some big ugly sunspot pointed directly at us right now. But of course, all these things go around the sun about every 11 days or so. So we can expect them to be coming back around. Hopefully they won't be as strong as they were last time. So yeah, well, we got Devil's Comet in the sky, which you can see if you go outside for the next 7 days right after sunset. It'll be right middle of the sky. If you're fortunate enough to have a cloudless sky during the eclipse, which most of the country in the United States, it looks like we're going to have clouds. Except New Days. New Days is going to have clear skies. So she might see Devil's Comet and eclipse all at the same time, because if it's right overhead in the daytime sky and you have that eclipse occur, you're going to have darkness for a little bit and you'll see stuff in the sky you might not otherwise see, like Devil's Comet. Which actually has, it's called that because it had 2 horns on it. Does that belong to the devil? No. That's just a nickname. The official name for it is 12P Pons Brook. And the Pons and Brooks are 2 different astronomers that discovered it. So that's what it's named. Comets are named after the discoverers. Alrighty, guys. Well, it's kind of warm down here right now, here in the heart of Dixie, but it's cool out west. So before we get into the weather, we got snow down all through Utah, Nevada, up in Wyoming, a little bit in Colorado, South Dakota. Spring snow, guys. We got a little bit up in northern New York and Ontario. Both east and west Ontario is huge. Alrighty, guys, we're going to stop the screen share for a little bit. We'll go back into going around the world. I'm going to come to the chat session. The official news section of this video is over for those who are drinking coffee in the morning, because we're just going to chat for a little bit, and we might go around the weather a little bit, but not much, because it's Easter, and I know you guys want to do whatever it is you do on Easter. Some of you guys do, so we won't be staying here too late right now. International Health Obama's movie, too many symbols, too many parallels, planned event. It could be. Rex had a guy on, Rex Bear on the Leak Project had a guy on who is a Christian, but he's a spirit medium, and he uses an electronic device that's set up that supposedly spirits talk through, and he's counseled a lot of families with it, and apparently they resonate with whatever messages are they get from this and their so-called loved ones on the other side. I don't know how this stuff works, guys, but he did have a warning to watch out for Easter, and further warnings that April would be a bad time. Could be a bad time. So April's a perfect time weather-wise for China to go into Taiwan, if they could pull that off, if they're so inclined to do that. We know that Russia is prepared to make a major move on Ukraine. There's a lot of troops right now in Belarus on the southern side of the Zalewski Gap, and you got the same for Russian troops in Kaliningrad right now. So I'm not going to go into that. I'm just pointing it out that we are in trying times. So if you don't believe you need to prep, you're not awake. Einstein's birth, 1879, 1979, Red Horse rides. Well, that may be S. Lee. Four Corners report. How you doing? Rex interview was great. Good morning, Greg. Yeah. He also had another interview on there. What's that guy? Gillen, Nathaniel Gillen, talking about spirits and demons and ancient gods and space aliens, and they're all one. That's pretty much what I've been saying for some time. Multidimensional beings, whatever. I've been pointing that out. Now I've got a little broader context than most Christians, or I have a bit bigger religious worldview than a lot of folks. So I'm not going to go all into that right now. I've talked a little bit when I've talked about the universe in a solo cup. I do believe we live in a multidimensional universe. There's different timelines, and different things happen on different timelines. And this whole thing about Nineveh may be an instruction to that effect. So, I also think that's how you get by with having free will. If you didn't have a multiverse, you wouldn't have free will. just given the physics of everything. We only get free will through having a multiverse. Demons are all around us, says New Days. Yeah, I don't agree with Gary Zukav, I believe his name was, who wrote the book The Seed of the Soul, in which he said that all souls are good. No. My very first encounter with a spiritual event was my angry soul, human soul, a disembodied soul of a living person that went on attack. Went on attack. So, yeah, souls are capable of doing things, and not all of them are good. So, Rodney says, what's to go with the red cows? Well, let me read through the chat room here real quick, guys. All right. Good morning, Greg. Hey, Cuban Nurse Prepper, Tom Weary. Happy Easter, says, oops, jumping around here. Come on, get off my screen there. Says Judy Dow. Traveler. John, Colonel Cole's in the house. Well, Cole, it's late for you. What do you think, Cole? Colonel Cole? I think the world's about to dissolve. I don't know, guys. We got so much going on here in our country. We got so much division. Hey, we got Mary's the Tesla Fox. She is the wife of our good friend from Green Country Agroforestry. There we go. Jason Avers. So they are a couple. Been there, met them both. She drives a truck. So I can't get Grower's House to open. I have to double check that link then. That's odd. I have to double check that link. I love Javier Milei and Berkey from El Salvador. How's that? Bouquet. I can't pronounce that. Bukele. I don't know how to pronounce that, Laura Lee. Oh, it says opens for her. Okay. Well, that's weird, Judy. I don't know what's going on there. You're having a good day too, Cowgirl in Arizona. My donation link is bad. You must be having some problem, Judy. You got two websites. Ain't neither one of them working for you? I'm still getting donations through it. Few. I mean, that's odd. Something does not exist. Oh, Lord. All right. Let's come in here and go to my site. I'm going to share screen. Bing, 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 bing. All right. There is the website. You can get to the donate. I don't know that link that she showed, that Due Days show, didn't have my website name in it. So I don't know. I never went there that way. You hit buy worms or hit the donate button. Either one should take you to this page. I have disabled the buttons for buying worms, but I did not disable the donate button. There, it gives me the place to enter credit card data. I don't know. Looks like it's working. I got a donation just a couple days ago here, so $10 donation from Michelle Young. I didn't close it down, New Days. This is not closed down. It's there and it works. Gee, I don't know what's going on with you. You're having some issues with some websites. I don't know. stop the share. Halo. So I don't know, Judy. That's odd. We got different people saying that. That's odd. No, I didn't close the page down. The button's there. It works for me. Oh, grilling to do in the morning, so I'm heading to bed. Okay, G. Talk about the war news, please. Well, I'm not going to go too much into it. It is Easter. Talking in some general. Let me go through the chat room first here. CERN. I don't know, Leslie. They do have a lot of weird ceremonies around the CERN, but I don't think it's going to cause anything. Oh, yeah. I didn't show the Passover dates. Passover dates start the 22nd of April. That may be when they would actually do the red heifer set. I think they go from the 22nd to it's either the 24th or 27th of April. The Passover period is recognized by the Hebrew Jews, excuse me. So I'm not exactly sure what day they would do a sacrifice in that litany, but there's a good chance it will happen then, and that will stir up the Arabic world, the Muslim world, and if they take down that mosque, that will definitely cause that'll kick the war into high gear. And we're not here to discriminate against any religion. As y'all know, I talk a lot about the old Germanic and German beliefs of Odin, Woden, whatever you want to call it. "17 steps to get to the ESG plan." Well, yeah, they got a red heifer, DRC. They got them. They got them back in 2022. They got 5 of them. So, Cowgirl, I would suspect they would do it during the Passover season. I don't know for sure. That would be my suspicion that they would choose that season. Now, they would want to do it before they get too old. Oh, yeah, plain, all right, there you are, plain reality. Yeah, they have 5. Well, international health coach, the Jews don't recognize Jesus. They're still living by the old book. So the Christian community does not go for sacrifice. Apollyon, is that true, S. Lee? That's the site of CERN? That's interesting. Well, for that prophecy to take place, there's a star that's got to hit the Earth, like an asteroid or something, or a warhead. A warhead coming down looks like a star. Star fall from heaven. If you've seen a warhead coming down, it looks like a star fall from heaven because it's due to the heating on the heat shield of the warhead itself. They have ablative heat shields on them, and it'll be burning white coming down, white hot. Baxter, why can't these people just over there just chill out? I wish they would. It's not, look, there's so much hatred been kicked up over the last couple generations over there. I mean, these attacks and counterattacks, there's going to be no love, not for a long time. Yeah. Well, the state of Texas itself didn't sell them. They bought them from somebody that raised them in Texas. What do you got on that ship, Alaska Soul? I'd like to hear more about that. Well, I don't think they care where they got them from as long as they're perfect. That means you can't have a blemish on them. So supposing these 5 grizzlies sell them to Wall Street. There you go. Now you're talking. 10,000 cows cooked last year, burn up on the cran days of 411 in Iraq and 410 on Texas. Ew. Those fires that we just had over in Texas around Amarillo were horrible. Lost over 7,000 cows then. We've got less beef cattle right now we've had in a long time. It's been like 73. You got to go way back to found less, the smaller herd. We got more people now too. So you can expect beef prices are going to be going up. Oh yeah, and the UN is now trying to push against the beef industry. Probably they one of the things they want to do is they want to put a tax on beef, kind of a sin tax, like we put on cigarettes on beef. And like the prices of beef aren't high enough. They want you to quit eating beef. And beef is one of the best things you can eat. But because cows are bad for the environment, cows contribute to global warming according to them. Never to mention that where the cows graze, they refertilize the land, and grass grows better, and grass takes carbon out of the atmosphere. Blah 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 blah. But if what they're saying is true about cattle, we should give the environmentalist of the Millennium Award to Wild Bill Cody for wiping out all this infernal buffalo that roamed around for thousands of years and melted the glaciers. They obviously melted the glaciers. We had so many buffaloes, we just didn't know it. They obviously melted the glaciers because they're such powerful impactors on global warming. But we should give the environmentalist of the Millennium Award to Wild Bill Cody for eliminating all those infernal buffalo. And he saved the entire universe by their way of thinking. Supposedly, they should recognize him for that and give him a ginormous award posthumously. I say that facetiously if you don't copy. Anyway, I wonder what else the flares could affect in life forms. Well, typically a flare, even as strong as a Carrington event, is not going to cause a direct problem to your cellular activity. Although some people think it causes heart attacks and things like that. I don't know, maybe it might interfere with some of your brain electrical, your heart electrical. But for the most part, it doesn't have a direct biological effect. It's the technology that we have that's at risk. Because now we're so reliant on a power grid. If we had our power grid hardened, if there were a Carrington event, you could kick back and say, ooh, wow, look at those auroras. Isn't that beautiful? But no, now we got to worry about the end of civilization because they didn't do the job in hardening the power grid. I chaired 2 power grid defense conferences in part because of that, and also nuclear war could have an even worse effect, especially if they EMP us. And we may be on the cusp of that. So our grid is under threat from several different things, including sleeper cells. We need to do something about our grid, guys. That the boat hit the same boat hit a structure in Antwerp earlier. That same boat did. I think it took outside of a pier or something. So it's had 2 accidents to its credit so far. I've done a sacrifice since 79 AD. Wow. 79, the year of Pompeii. Well, we know that the temple was destroyed by the Romans, and they decimated the revolution that the Jews were trying to. Well, it was Jews mainly, the Hebrew people at the time. It's kind of interesting. They named the modern state Israel because the ancient kingdom of Israel broke into 2 kingdoms, Judea and Israel. the lost tribes were in that kingdom called Israel that got taken over by the Assyrians, and what was left was Judea. That's why we call them Jews today. But prior to that, they were known as Hebrew. So they weren't but like, there were 10 lost tribes. So supposedly Levi's and the descendants of, from Judea survived. So, wasn't but a couple of tribes survived all of that, of the 12 original tribes. '79 is interesting. 4 gas giants form a square. Unknown vector. I'm not worried about that planetary square unless maybe it's symbology. They're so far apart, there's not going to be an appreciable magnetic or gravitational effect from that. So the inverse square law, what we get from those planets at that distance, I'm not buying that line. And my good friend over on Adapt 2030 talks that all the time. I'm just not subscribing to it personally. Whoops. I hate it when I'm scrolling through and it knocks me down so far. What's going on here? Totally off. Global warming. There you go, Tom. Why can't I scroll? What's going on here? Go down to the bottom to come back up. Exploding star. There is a star out there that's going to be exploding. It's going to be like, I mean, it's like 6,000 light years away or something like this. It's going to be beyond the range that would impact us directly, but they claim we'll be able to see the star. I don't know if it means we'll see it big or if it's just that we'll actually be able to see the star itself. There's some ambiguity on what we'll be able to see for that. So you're 61, General Sir. Well, I'm 64. Welcome to the club of the 60s. Jesse Mills says, Greg, Rumpers have mentioned that the temple was located close, but not on the Temple Mount. Yeah, I've seen those kind of claims. And I hope that they'll take that to heart and decide to build a temple somewhere else. I've actually read some pretty good, strong evidence that the temple was not on the Temple Mount. So there's been some geological evidence that points to that. Maybe they will decide to build the temple elsewhere based on that and avert the war. But that's not what they're talking about. They're still talking about putting it on the Temple Mount. Judy says, grab my phone. It's Android. I have PayPal, but the link wouldn't work for me. Judy, okay, there's another way. You can send it directly to me using my email address, greg@greengregs.com. Oops, I'm not supposed to mention the dots. But if you find my email address at the bottom of my website, you can use, if you're already in PayPal, you can send it that way. That's a whole nother way to do it. I can check my email a little bit, see if anybody's done that. But yeah, you've got PayPal, but you don't have to have PayPal to send money through the donate button. You can use a credit card. That's why I clicked on the credit card link when I was there on that site. I'll probably go backwards. Yeah, hang on. Do another share screen. Ding, 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 ding. There it is. So if you come in here, go back up. If you do donate PayPal, yeah, that's the email address you send it to. Oh, that's where you enter your address. Okay, never mind. But what you would do, you'd have to log in and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to type in all my data here on screen live. But yeah, you can do it through that. And I do get donations sent to me from time to time. I'm going to stop the share. Hello. Oh, only 4 left of those cows? No, they got 5. That was 2 years ago. So it may be that one of them got too old already. Faster speed particles. That's interesting, Christian Soldier. Yeah, there's no reason to expect any kind of nova activity from our sun at this point in time. There is a star out there that's, some distance away that they're saying is about to go nova anytime. We should be able to see. And of course, there's always a prospect that Betelgeuse may go nova. And if Betelgeuse goes nova, you'll be able to see it in the daytime for weeks. It'll be visible like the moon in the daytime sky. That would be interesting to see. I hope that happens in my lifetime. I'd love to see that. We kind of wrecked the constellation Orion, but even after the event takes place, that nebula it leaves will probably be visible. So Orion will probably still have a right shoulder for a few hundred, maybe a few thousand years to come. What is everybody planting in April? That's a good question. I've got garlic growing out here, but I may sell this place, so that may be somebody else's garlic crop that's ready. I'm going to try to sell this place, guys. Might have missed you. Oh. Rodney's having lunch, I guess. What zone are you in, Greg, in Alabama? I'm 8B. Oh, that's a nice zone here. But I need to check out the grow dates for snowflake. Okay, the zone here is 7B. The zone in snowflake is 7A. But I'm right here where I'm at. It's on the cusp of 7A, 7B. So snowflake is very similar zone. It's just north of me up here in South Tennessee. And I've seen people grow okra. If you can grow okra, you can grow cotton. I've seen people grow really nice okra in the snowflake area, including up around Show Low, where it's a little colder than down in snowflake, typically. As we get, as Jesse Mills can tell us, he's in here a lot. Peter Cottontail. Oh, Lord. So, a few days had to step away. Let's see if I got any donations here. I can check it on my phone. If I do, I'll give a shout out for anything that's come across. Nothing right now. Well, I'll get on PayPal here from my phone. Nope. Last donation was from Michelle Young on the 27th of March. So just a few days ago. So sleep Michelle whenever she watches the video later. Probably too late for her tonight. She's probably getting ready for church. Probably getting her to sleep. Evan Wolf, how you doing? Cowgirl, we're not planting except snow tonight and tomorrow. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, it's a little early to be planting up in around Show Low and Snowflake over in Vernon. The red heifer isn't sacrificed in the new temple. Yeah, the ashes are used, but that's a preliminary to the temple. Supposedly it's for purification before they do the temple. That's correct. But that's considered to be a sign that they're about to build a temple. You wouldn't do that unless you were about to build a temple. That would be the only reason to sacrifice a red heifer, supposedly. And since it's only been done 9 times in the past, that's considered a very serious ritual. Very serious. And so much so that it was cited by Hamas as being one of the causes for what they did on the 7th of October. So, I always said, if they started, if they took out the Dome of the Rock, you can expect the whole Muslim world to be on fire. All of them would want to attack Israel, including the ones that are currently allied to Israel. So, yeah, it would be, and Israel would have their hands full. Doing a cover crop of beans and peas tomorrow. There you go. Well, there's a lot of peas you can plant early. Radishes, there's some things you can plant early. Some things are cold weather and snow tolerant. At Greg, Cowgirl, how do you grow okra around here? I just can't figure it out. Old Geezer used to grow it up close to you. In your elevation, Old Geezer had a nice okra nice little stand of okra. Seen it, been there, saw it. So yeah, he grew it, and it has some real nice okra stalks. So that impressed me. I love okra, and they do grow it up in Tennessee. So I suppose that okra will grow in Snowflake. So, but old geezer, he moved down to Tucson because he's got some health issues, bad health issues. He's basically can't use his arms, bless his heart. So that'd be worth remembering in your prayers. He's trying to get treatment. I hope it's worked out for him, or I hope it's working out for him. So we might do a little. They don't go long in here tonight. We'll do a quick little weather go around since we're already talking about it. So if you want to see the eclipse, this is the best place to see it, probably right through here. Maybe some parts in Ohio you might be able to see it, Judy, if you're still in the house. But apparently it's going to be cloudy all through here, big time cloudy. Anyway, so now we can run the weather forward through the 8th now, but it's not going to show you cloud because it's just going to show you precipitation. Let's see, do I have a cloud? Yeah, I got a cloud thing I can run. We'll run clouds. All right, 21 degrees in Patton, Maine. Let's go back in. All right. A lot of snow up north of Houghton's 21. Ohio is in the 40s, pretty much everywhere, except Cambridge is 39. Down south in Cincinnati is 46. Beltway bandits are sitting at 50. Raleigh is double nickel for anybody from Fort, let's see, and so is Fayetteville, double nickel for anybody from Fort Bragg, which is right here. Hotlanta is 53. Macon Bacon is 53. Montgomery is 57. Hunts Patch is 53. That was warmer. Bowling Green, 57. Indianapolis, 41. We got Stepfords in the house. Chicago's at 37. Ron Prendy always watches in the morning. We got 20s throughout Minnesota. 40s in Iowa. Kansas is in the 40s. Oklahoma is in the 60s. Tulsa Fox and Jason are sitting at 62. Jason can tell you a lot about what you can grow and how to grow it. That guy is brilliant on growing stuff. Houston, 66. Planet Houston. Dallas is 64. Ez and El Paso are sitting about 61. Alamogordo, 61. Probably need to send some rocket stuff to Alamogordo Space Museum. Albuquerque, 48. Oh, we got some snow right up in here, just west of Show Low. Says it's 39 there right now. Snowflake is 43. You see the temperature difference? This is higher elevation, just about 1,000 feet higher here than down here, almost. Yeah, right at 1,000 feet. Phoenix is 59. Cowgirl in Arizona Territory is 55. Tucson area. Lost Wages is 43. Lost Angels is 50. And we'll come up the coast of West Wokistan. 48 in San Fran, West Wokistan. Well, the Creek is 35, but Eureka's 48 and Crescent City is 50. 34 inland here in the mountains, 32 there, 30. Big temperature differences there. Eugene, Oregon is 39. There's some 40s on the coast and 20s inland. Up here in West Wokistan, Salem, 41. Salem is short for Jerusalem. Jerusalem. Seattle, 43. We do get some people watching occasionally from British Columbia. Kelowna, where Curtis Stone's from, is 32. Vernon's 30. Got snow over here in Alberta. Calgary's 25 degrees. Medicine Hat, 23. Good name for a town, Medicine Hat. Rocky Mountain House, 25. Up to Alaska. We got some Alaskans in the house. We got to go to England since we got a pagan prepper in the house. I believe she's from England. All right, we got 40s up here in the panhandle of Alaska. Got some snow. Wouldn't you know? Cordova's 34. Stewart, 32. Homer, 32. Looks like you got a mix of snow, sleet in this area. Anchorage is 32. Nick's small engine oddities, ring rails. Why have you not posted NASA rockets and ballooning planes that are doing the Eclipse on Galactic Grigs? I haven't posted any on Galactic Grigs in a month. Guys, I can't post. There's several topics I've got material for I want to put on Galactic Grigs. I just can't find the time. It's difficult. You don't believe how much time it takes me to post anything. It is killing me. It takes a lot of time. So I'm on here so late, guys. It takes a lot of time to do this. You just don't snap your fingers and videos appear. It takes hours and hours. And I'm posting on this channel mainly because Samuel Turner said he asked me to do a live over here and said he could make a donation if I was over here, but he ain't called us tonight. We started too late. So far, the super chats from you guys are about the only income I have because YouTube is demonetizing stuff left and right. These live sessions I don't tend to like. And people watching during the course of the video are not getting the ads, so we're losing ad revenue for people watching. So doing a live session without super chats is negative for me. So that's one reason I only do them every other day now. One, and just time. I just can't find the time. Wasilla's 35, Anchorage is 32. Go north. Delta Junction, 32. Fairbanks is 35. You scroll in here, you should be able to see the Allen Army Airfield. Close enough. There it is. Fort Greely, Allen Army Airfield. I had an interesting sighting one day, jogging on the road to that airfield. Saw something really strange. So I won't say for now. Good topic for Galactic Grigs. Maybe. Topic I really don't want to go into. Fairbanks 35. Oh, a lot of snow north of Fairbanks. Let's see what Dead Horse is setting at. Got an air coming straight out of the Arctic. Dead Horse is 14. I saw 8 down here at the pass in the Brooks Range. Barrow's 12. Hope is 3. Okay, that's the coldest I see in Alaska right now. Nope, -1 in Wales. Nom is at 17. Okay, -2 over here on Wrangell Isle. I guess that's not Wrangell Isle. What's that mean? All right, -11 over here. We got some cold temperatures in Siberia. -22 right there. And how do you sell that? Bilbino, -22. All right, let's go down there. What's Weepaw? I say Weepaw's at 80. My guess. I don't know. I haven't been there. Just guessing. What is Weepaw? Oop, going the wrong way. There's Philippines. Cebu City, 86. Look, I always got rain in Indonesia. Wow, so much rain there. Wow, Weepaw's heated up. 86. That's pretty warm for Weepaw, and especially going into the autumn. All right, this is Rodney Middleton land here, Queensland. We got 82 in interior and 84 over here. Long reach on the coast. You got 70, 75, Rockingham is 75, McKay 77, Rana 73, Sydney 70, Canberra, the capital city, is 68. It's autumn down there, guys. Hobart, Tasmania is 59. New Plymouth 52, Christchurch is 52, Westport's 52, 55 in how do you pronounce that? And Dunedin is 50. All right, let's go look over here on this coast. That Perth is at 84, but it's 70s on each side. It's 75 on each side, but 84 in Perth. That's interesting. Albany 64. What's Alice Springs? 79 in Alice Springs. They got major defense centers there. They do balloon work in Alice Springs. Let's go to England. Norway. We get people from Norway in here a lot. All right. Oslo, 43. Kristen, 48. Stavanger, 45 in Norway. England. Say the best for last. Hull is 40. London's 50. 50, excuse me, 50. And London's 52. Bristol's 48. Limerick, 48. Dublin, 48. Glasgow, Scotland's 46. Aberdeen is 46. Inverness is 46. All right, guys. Warsaw 70. Kyiv is 68. Minsk, Lachinka land is 64. Up here near the Zawalki Gap is in the high 60s. Moscow is 53. Balmy over there right now, guys. Balmy. All right, Birmingham, England is at 48. And Birmingham, Alabama is at 57. All right. Huntsville, Alabama's 53. And Utah, we missed Utah. Hey, Miss Green Atlanta. It's all snowing through Utah. Provo's 34. Slick, Salt Lake City's 35. Junction's 30. And Huntsville, Utah. Let's see if we can find Huntsville, Utah. Not too far south. It is just east of Ogden. Looks like they got snow up in that area. Huntsville, Utah, looks like they're getting sleet or something there. It's 30 degrees. It's a line that's sharp between snow and not snow. Hey, Billy the Kid Norwood, 99 cents. Salute to you. That's the only super chat we got tonight. It's probably all I'm going to earn for this video and all the hours I put into it. So I'm at least worth less than $1. So sleep the Billy the Kid. Thank you, sir. All right, stop the share. Cowgirl, you gone? All right, good night. All righty, folks. How long we been in the house here? 131 watching. That's not bad. We only got 14 thumbs up. Let me hit the refresh on. It's got to be better. We've been going for 74 minutes. And we need to end early. How you doing, Billy Kid? We haven't seen you in a while. You do know that I do most of my videos now on Silverhead News, most of my live sessions. All right, we got 90 thumbs up. Only 90. We got 131 in the house. All right, so older brother, love you, man. How you doing, Billy Kid? Let's see. Unknown Vector win. I was hungry. I made a olive sandwich in Wells and turkey spiced with chili served on a plate of china. We forgot to cook the turkey in the grease. We left out the grease. Pretty close. Pretty good there, Unknown Vector. When I was hungry, I made an olive sandwich with Wells and turkey spiced with chili served on a plate of china. There you go. We got dinner going now. All right. Hey, Colorado Jan, how you doing? Good to see you. You're up late. Did we cover Colorado? Was I even sharing the screen a minute ago when I was going through that? I don't know. Sometimes I forget. Let's do a screen share right now. Was I actually sharing the screen when I was going through this? We need to run the weather forward and put it on clouds. Where am I at here? Grass Valley. Let's back out a little bit. I fell over in Nevada. Got a little snow in Colorado. Denver's 32. Colorado Springs is 32. What's Vail? Vail is 23. Aspen's 26. Got a little scattered snow there in Colorado. Steamboat Springs, 26. There's a Steamboat Mountain up on the Alcan Highway in Canada. There's also a mountain called Trutch, which is very interesting to try to travel across during the spring breakup, because it's just one set of ruts to drive in, especially in the bottoms, because the mountain does this. And every time you reach a bottom, there's only one set of ruts you can drive in, or you'll get stuck because the mud's about yay deep on either side of those ruts. Oh my gosh. Back in the day, I had a CB radio, and everybody, all the truckers and everybody on the CB was coordinating who would go, and he was coordinating. You knew who didn't have a CB, so you'd let them go. And we all coordinated so that we wouldn't be two cars meeting at the bottom, because if you did, you get stuck on Trutch during spring breakout. It was a mess. Blubber, says Evan Wolf. There you go. A Colombian stole what, General Sorrel? Colors? Like our flag? Left a wacky smoke. What are we talking about there? Stole what and left a wacky smoke? Okay there, Billy the Kid. All righty, so let's do this. Let's back out and let's see if we can figure out what's going to happen during the eclipse in terms of cloud cover. Oops, I backed up too far. So we got to do is get the easternmost part of this picture. And I'm going to switch to clouds. That's where the clouds are right now. So the sandwich. Oh, the sandwich went up in smoke. Oh, I got you. Columbia stole the sandwich. All right, let's look what cloud cover is going to be doing. Well, we got a lot of cloud cover country. Sunday. Let's just go ahead and skip over here to, what time is that eclipse supposed to be? Sunday the 7th. All right, the 8th at 2 a.m. $11 a.m. That ain't too bad. All right, let's go back to, I think it's around 1 p.m. Let's see, I had an Eclipse site open somewhere. Let's come down here. Let's back it up. Right about here. Be there. Making me click. It's like about right after 1. Little Rock will have the clips for 2 minutes and 41 seconds. The farther north you go, the less duration it is. It's going to have the longest duration when it crosses into the country at Eagle Pass, by the way. So we're talking around just prior to 2 p.m. It comes into Eagle Pass area. It'll be what time? 107. Yes. Oh, this may not be. This may not be registering right over here. Let's see what time it's going to be when it's Houghton. I don't think this time's off. Oh, here we got to go with that. 3:30 p.m. Of course, that's Eastern time. Down here when it comes into Eagle Pass will be just before 1. No, 1:28. Del Rio. So it'll be after 1 to 3 is what we're looking for. So if I come back over here to the windy cloud cover, now we're already a little late right there. So let's back it up to 1. That's noon. Now let's play it forward and see what the cloud cover says. It's clear up here. Texas is socked in with clouds. Most of Arkansas has got clouds. Looks like the clouds are clearing a little bit. Oh, that's 7 p.m. That's where they went way out. 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Well, you might be able to see the eclipse through here. You might. Texas is going to not see it. It don't look like. Arkansas, Missouri, maybe not. Indiana, you got some milky clouds. Ohio's got some, but you can probably see the eclipse in this area. Texas, good luck, buddies. Maybe if you're right here in eastern Texas, because it's going to cut through. It's going to cut through right here. So if you're in easternmost Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, Tulsa Fox and Jason Avery, Arkansas, that's pretty good. Most of Arkansas, if you're on I-40, you'll catch it. Okay. Maybe I should plan a trip out that way. We'll check. We'll keep up with this. We'll look at this on a day-by-day basis, guys. See what it's going to do. As we're getting close to the 7th, well, that's what we'll do. We'll keep the forecast going that way. I don't know if I decide to do any more live sessions. May wait a while. Another live session. This is all right. So let's switch to just weather, rain, thunder. Go back to what we normally look at. Now let's run this forward. We'll just look at the country in terms of precipitation. Just run it all the way forward. Happy Eastern, 420. Oh, Lord. Be that in a little bit here. The ginger on Gilligan's Island. Oh, look at that. Monday we got some storms coming across a good part of the country. Ohio on Tuesday. Indiana on Tuesday. Come through my area on Tuesday also. Late. Snow up in Chicagoland. Steppers J, Wednesday. Indiana, Ohio getting snow. Look at Appalachians getting snow heavy on Thursday, the 4th. Wow, a lot of snow in the Smoky Mountains, west by golly, Virginia, going through Thursday, Friday. Wow. Snow up your way, New Days. Snow out west, Nevada, mountains near California. Arizona, look at that. Going down, way down in Arizona on Saturday next week. And Denver getting pounded by snow Saturday. In western Colorado, Idaho, western Montana. Going through Sunday, snow a whole week from now. Say it ain't snow. We're getting snow in April. April snows. Got some weather up in Oklahoma there on Monday, following Monday, the 8th. There's some of that rain. An eclipse day. Oklahoma getting some rain. All right, now it don't look too bad there. Things start warming up on Thursday, Tuesday the 9th around the country. Still getting some little bit of snow in Utah and eastern California, Colorado. Mixed stuff even down around Snowflake there. Look at that. Out on Tuesday. All right, Jesse, you may be getting snow up to 9 April or later. You don't think you're planting a whole lot. All right, let's stop the share. All right, everybody, tell us where you're from, and we're going to go. We'll call it a night. Who's bragging, General Sorrow? Better be a fast draw, Billy. Uh-oh. All right, so you're a William Bill. Okay, General Sorrow. Birds been chirping since 2:30. Well, that's weird. They usually chirp around sunrise. Or before sunrise. I can draw faster than the Roadrunner. All right, we got East Texas unknown vector. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, says General Sorrow. Naturita, Colorado from Colorado Jam. Got a kid north. Austin, Texas. All right, very good. Earth, says Evan Wolf. Okay, are you sure? I think most wolves are from Earth, as far as I know. Nick Smallage in the northeast between Cleveland and Columbus. Okay. Yeah, I've been in those areas. Third rock from the sun. All right, 50 miles east of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hey, David, you might catch some of that eclipse. 64 miles each both ways. Hi, Nick. Frozen in Maine. Oh, yeah, I bet. Thank you, Jason, for asking for the thumbs up. Hey, I got a question before we go. Somebody told me that I got a shout out from a viewer, I think named V, on Lee Whitbarger's channel today or yesterday. And he responded something about here on this channel, we were claiming that he cross-dressed. I never said that. Has anybody in the chat room recalled anyone saying that in the chat room? Because I got no recollection of that. That was his claim. That was his last complaint about our channel here. But I have no recollection of such claims. Does anybody recall anyone in the chat room saying that he was a cross-dresser? I never saw it. I don't know what he's talking about. So I don't see everything crosses the chat room. New Days never. No. I'm trying to, stay above the fray and not go into such things. I'm trying to stay out of the channel warfares and dispersion of the channels. Was it David? I think Anton might have been talking about himself. He says he wears a kilt. Oh, come on. There we go. Focus. Want to see Maine. Hey, the 8th of April will be the perfect time to be up there. No, I don't say stuff like that. I don't do that. That's not my style. Y'all know me better than that. I don't accuse people of stuff. I prefer my crosses undecorated. Okay, so you hadn't seen it? Yeah. I don't know where he comes up with that then. I got no idea. A1 says Lee has in the last year not been. Yeah. Yeah, stay away from his channel. Hey, Greg, if I do find time to post on Galactic Greg's and NASA test on Eclipse Day. Yeah, they're running some tests. I don't know. I got some other topics I want to bring up on Galactic Grads. I got several topics. I've even got some stuff scrolled up to cover. Just haven't. I can't do videos here and there, and I get too many irons in the fire, guys. It's just tough. I've got to also focus on liquidating this place here. Like I went to the dump yesterday with a bunch of stuff I had here and took it to the landfill. First time I've ever been there. It's funny. I knew where the dump was in up south of Sholo before I knew where the dump was here locally. Isn't that funny? I hadn't visited that one yet, but I will have to go to it. So, who knows, Colorado Jim? Who knows? Who knows? I'm not here to. I want to stay above the fray. You know, it's just not my style. I mean, if somebody comes out and directly attacks us, we have had that going on. I've kind of just stayed out of it. I try to stay above that kind of stuff. But if somebody makes a direct accusation about the channel, I might address it if it's overt enough. But I try to stay out of that stuff because it's unbecoming, I think. You know, it's we got an old saying here in the South, it's uncalled for. If y'all know what that means. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I want to do a video about what the Department of Defense is not telling you. You know, they come out and said, well, these artifacts and blah, blahs, no evidence of it being aliens. Well, I never said it was aliens, did I? But they didn't say what it is. They didn't say that there wasn't stuff, but they said it wasn't alien. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video on that old Galactic Grizz. I've had that stuff scrolled up for like 2 weeks. Been wanting to talk about it for 2 weeks. That's how busy I am. I have a hard time getting around to making these videos. These videos take a lot of time. Pulling up articles, the research I do ahead of time. People ask me to do some war stuff. I knew what I had to talk about tonight. I probably wouldn't have time. It was Easter, and I wanted to focus on freedom and a little bit about what's going on relative to Easter. As far as war, guys, we are in a very rough time. Fort Hood. Okay, built the kid in Oregon. So, all right. I like this channel and sub to Greg's other channels. Yeah, I try to have a different vibe here, A1. I try to keep things more positive. You know, I just got a different style. I believe in freedom of speech, you know. So how can I be president of the Freedom Restoration Foundation and not support freedom of speech? Some people just want to stir the pot. Yeah, it's not my style. So let's try to stay above the fray here and not go into criticizing folks. I mean, there's just nothing to be gained from it, not really. It's a negativity that we don't need. The world's negative enough without us adding to it. We want to be the solution, not the problem. Part of the solution is promote freedom. And if you look at what happened with the Bud Light thing, and how even Larry Fink, who is a big promoter, all that ESG stuff across all these companies that they've invested in, he kind of walked it back some. I don't think he, at least on the surface. Yeah, I think they're still promoting it under the radar, under the table, but not as heavy as they were, because they had a huge backlash that cost them an enormous amount of money. So the key thing here, though, is that we can win. Just remember how Jonah prophesied to Nineveh. For those that resonate with that, we can win. Yes. But even nothing is alien if you're universal. There you go, Evan. Pagan prepper. Yes, focus on our freedom. Amen. Oh. How about focus? That's exactly what we're going to do. We can, our biggest real problems come from folks like in the House of Klaus, the folks that push us into war. We're being pushed into this, and a lot of us from within our own side. So we can address a lot of that by taking them on. Say, no, we don't need this. This is nuts. Most of this stuff would boil over and cook out in time and don't have to drag us into it. But there are a lot of folks who are trying to drag us in. The American people need to be free to be themselves, and honestly, none of this should be controlled by anyone. Amen, pagan. I know two young me who just have begun their journey in the U.S. Army Ranger School. Well, I was Army. I was in the Army. So, got my basic training in AIT at Fort Jackson. And then I went to Fort Bragg. I became a unit armorer. Then I went to Fort Greeley, Alaska, and ran a computer automated database system up there. That's where I got into computers, at Fort Greeley, Alaska. Young men, yep. All young men are going in. Yes, sir. Shipped to Poland after Christmas. It's real testy over there right now. Real testy. Yeah, Ranger School, that's a tough school. It's a tough school. When I was at Fort Bragg, the unit right next door to my company was the Green Berets. Their headquarters is just right next door to me. We actually would do our training on the same grounds that they trained on. We ran the same trails. There was a trailer to the movie, The Green Berets, for a while. Now, I hadn't seen it in the latest versions of it. They actually showed those trails, like somebody was running down them or something in the trailer to the movie or the opening session. I've looked for that since and not seen it again. So they've changed the release on it or something. But there is a big monument there, a big, stone that John Wayne donated to the Green Berets, and it's there. It was there when I was there. I guess it's still there. Chrissy R. New Days, 100% Greg. Greg is not interested in stirring trouble. It's quite enough. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I had quite enough. My vehicle seems to be running well now. I've reset up the bed in it. I'm in the process of setting it up to be a home away from home again, or it will be my home at wherever I'm at, hopefully, for the time being. So hopefully I might make a run to Arizona. Maybe I'll make a run to Arizona on the 8th. I got to figure out a place to camp out. So that's going to be a key thing. I need to have a place just to settle down, because I think if you're driving through while those big crowds are, you're just going to be caught up in traffic for endless hours. So I'd rather just find a place to hunker down for a day before and maybe hang out a day or two, then leave again. Supposedly Delta Force likes to shrink wrap people who sneak into their training area at Fort Bragg. I didn't get shrink wrapped. but we didn't sneak in. It was, it was free for us to use too. And the unit, I was in headquarters company, the 426th Signal Battalion of the 35th Signal Brigade. It wasn't the brigade when I first started. It made it a brigade before I left, though. 35th Signal Brigade. So that was my unit. My unit in Alaska was the Cold Regions Test Center, CRTC. That's still a unit. Too many channels, glorifying upheaval going around the world, bloodshed effects. So no, I don't glorify it. I don't believe we need to glorify any bloodshed. And yet, YouTube demonetizes my videos when I talk about WAR, while other channels go far more into it, and they don't get demonetized at all. At all. So I find that really despicable of the platform. Why would they demonetize me continuously? And other people talk more political. They talk more about the WAR. They get more graphic. They even talk more about GUNS, NUGs. And they've escaped. But no, not me. They unsubscribe a lot of my people. They don't send out notifications. When I first started out, by far the bulk of my views came from notifications, but now it's a tiny little bit. And we're talking about notifications that you subscribers are in that. So they're just not, and say, oh, I hear from you guys all the time. I get notifications. I hear from you guys all the time. You got unsubscribed. Well, you don't get notifications unless you're subscribed. But you need to, just need to check back periodically and see what's content I got posted. NTC, Fort Irwin. I did not re-up. No, I didn't re-up either. Well, I extended my tour at Fort Greeley so I could bring up wife and son. I'm retired Army Sergeant First Class. All right, very good. Bacon Prepper, retired Army Sergeant First Class. Well, salute to you and thank you for your service. All right. What was your last duty station, Bacon Prepper? Were you ever at Fort Bragg? Oh, that's because I'm calling President Taterhead. They don't demonetize my shorts, though. They're so desperate for shorts, I can say almost anything in my shorts and they're monetized. Although I think, oh, I just did one. The one I did call Taterhead actually earned me 19 cents. That's a record for a short over on Silverhead News. That's the most money I've earned on any shorts. It's usually just a couple cents. That actually earned me 19 cents. That's the most viewed short over there. Last time I checked, it was still monetized. So it's amazing. They're so desperate for shorts, they let stuff pass that they ordinarily would not pass. Don't force my hand. Yeah, you gotta have freedom. You gotta have freedom. We really gotta maintain our freedom, guys. Now, last duty station was admin recruiting in San Antonio. Okay, Riverwalk, the Alamo. I stayed a weekend in San Antonio. We did a space development conference there back in 1991. In 1991, National Space Society International Space Development Conference. That was the first one I attended. And I attended every single one of those up until the year 2011. I have not been back since, but I chaired the one in 1993. And the one in 2011 was also hosted by the chapter I started, Huntsville, Alabama L5 Society, which I founded in 1983, which was a few years ago. Same year I got out of the Army. Let freedom ring. Amen. My last duty station was Fort Wainwright, Alaska. I've been there. That's where I first went. Spent my first night in Alaska on the 1st of April. The 1st of April, 1981. And then I got on a bus and went to Fort Greeley the next day. I love my neighbor. Amen. There you go. Few days. 1991, Greg was 31 years old. I was. I was 31 years old at that conference. And there's some pictures of me at that conference somewhere. I've seen them posted. Of me in a hospitality suite having a brewski with some guys. Yeah, I was 23 when I started the Huntsville, Alabama L5 Society. Amen. That was my third chapter I'd started. I've been a space activist since I was 18. Sleepy. Yeah, we need to go, guys. Oh, it's 4:37. We do need to go. Freedom of Spanish. Okay, well, yeah, we need to protect our country at home. I think we need to pull out a lot. We need to pull out of the Mideast. I don't see that we're accomplishing anything over there other than putting our boys and girls in harm's way. And I don't see any point. I think we need to pull out of the Mideast. I think we already have a debate about our presence in Europe. I do. I think we ought to really pull out of there too. Unless NATO makes it worthwhile for us. We ought to consider pulling out of NATO. Uday says, you were a hottie. Possibly still are. Possibly. Am I a hottie, ladies? Loudy, gonna make me blush. Billy Kid agrees. There you go. Yeah, we're too dispersed. We're out protecting everybody's borders except our own. Isn't that funny? We won't protect our borders, but we cover everybody else's. There's something wrong with that picture. Put our troops down on the southern border, maybe all the borders. Trump says, pull out. Amen. If we pull out of the Mideast, we should have to go back when things boil over. Wow. We don't need their oil. Right now, we can produce enough here. Look how much we were producing when the T-Man was the prez. Yeah, New Days, you're the only one that makes me blush. And Vanguard. Yeah, there should be nobody in Congress that's got dual citizenship. If you got dual citizenship, you should not be serving in Congress, nor as president or in the Supreme Court. Pagan purposes. Love y'all. Need to come together and Green Greg's. You do look like my there you go, Odin. There you go. I just want to talk about Odin. Identify with Odin. There's a photograph up there, one of my friends maybe from Utah, that's Odin, but that's me as Odin. Y'all remember I used to do on Wednesdays I used to do a Woden live session, but I figured that we got a lot of Christians here following me. I figured they wouldn't quite understand that, so I kind of cut it out. I got more topic driven. I used to also do green Greg's and ham and fried Friday videos. So I make them all topic driven these days. Because you can. Yeah, you're not kidding. I think I'm a two-eyed Odin. The United States will never stop defending Israel. Israel has a special status in terms of relationships and access to our weapons. That's probably true, except for President Taterhead. He don't know where he wants to go. He's afraid he's going to lose the Michigan vote. So he's kind of backtracked. He's afraid he's going to not carry Michigan. It's all your fault. Worth that darn Applewood one. All right. Are you talking about my magic wand? Look out, girl. I don't know. This was made by Gorgeous Awesome and gave to me by Gorgeous Awesome. They're a couple that we see in, chat. Used to see in the chat room. Not been here a while, maybe because I'm too late. But they made this beautiful one and gave it to me. They've got an Etsy store. So go there and buy something. Tell them I sent you. Check out their Etsy store. They have a lot of beautiful things on that store, including a lot of crystal that's copper wound. They got a lot of beautiful things there. I'm going to have a blessed Easter. There you go. Yeah, I agree with you, unknown vector. All righty. Nick says the only thing worth fighting for is loved ones and their simplicity. Remember Rome? I think my ancestors sacked Rome. The Anglo-Saxons, before they went to take the former Roman territory of Britain, sacked Rome. I'm sure I had some ancestors in that venue, and then I had some Viking ancestors that took over northern France, because I found out, at least on my mom's side, our blood is 100% Nordic. My dad's side, a lot of Scottish, and most of that is Nordic. So I'm more Nordic than not. Strange thing for a Southern boy, right? Yeah. Well, Rome overextended. That's what happens to empires. They overextend themselves, and then they get fat and lazy. So we were having some of the empire-itis issues today. We need to look out for the republic here at home. And I don't know that we're doing that. Now, some allegiances may be important. If we get into it with China, it's thought that NATO would back us up. But then you hear some people in Europe say, no, they don't want to do that. So then why are we defending Europe? They won't even hardly defend themselves. Really makes me wonder. If they're worried about Ukraine, they need to pick it up over there on their side. Why they rely on America to carry all the water for them for so long? We've bailed them out in 2 world wars throughout the Cold War. We've been tied up over there for well over 100 years. Gold. There you go. If you want gold, check out Defy the Grid. Check my websites on that. Defy the Grid. .com. I hear you're not supposed to say that directly on here. So check that out. Defy the Grid and use the code Green Grades. If you don't use that code, I don't get no credit for it. I had somebody tell me the other day, "Oh, I went to Defy the Grid. As you said, I got me blah 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 blah," but they didn't use the code Green Grades. I know, because I didn't get I got a notice. You'll save 1% and I'll get 1%. That's the smallest commission that I get anything from, but it's been a popular one. That's why I promote it quite often. Fiat currencies may be in trouble. Yeah, I think especially our dollar is in big trouble. Jason says, you should see the movie King Arthur that dealt with the Saxons invading, retreating Romans. Oh, that would be worth watching. First and Second Amendments. Yeah, those are my favorite ones. And the 10th Amendment. Well, they're all important, every one of them. Roman head got too big. It did. Yep. Gold is on the rise. It is, and it'll probably keep rising. Pagan, you have to be you can only share a website if you are a mod. You can talk with the mods and sharing it. I might make you a mod, but I've been told I have too many mods on here. There you go. That's the link from New Days. You can spell it out and separate the .com so it don't look like a website or whatever it is. Pagan, I don't mind. Be curious to what your website is. Well, there's kind of okay. I follow New Days. He is my guide for making people mods. We got kind of a rule: if you ask to be a mod, you don't become a mod. That's kind of a rule that all the YouTube channels follow. Pagan Prepper, you've been smurfed. You've been smurfed. So go ahead and post your link. All right, Pagan, post your link. Go for it. That's your link. All right, let's keep the language clean. Alclan. Okay. Hang on, wait a minute. I'm gonna type it in here and pull it up, guys. Whoa, what happened? Lost my thinking. No. Says it's not secure. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Did I type it right? Oh, .org. Sorry, I didn't type it right. All right, hang on, guys. Still screen share. Ding, 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 ding. Come on. All right, here's the site, guys. This is it. Community websites. Join us. Contact. All clans group of solitary practitioners come together to teach and learn about several traditions of shamanism. Like I'm falling into the screen there. We are warriors. Retired Sergeant First Class, I guess so. Bill the Bob, is that you? Is that you right there? All right, folks, there it is. Pagan Preppers website, community websites. What's that? Also, everybody check out Freedom Restoration Foundation and Survival Tribe Network. I'll stop the share. All righty, folks. It's late. It's almost 5 a.m. my time. Oh, did we get another super chat from Bill the Kid? We did. Bill the Kid, salute to you, buddy. Thank you, sir. Yeah, you are dedicated. Appreciate it. We believe in all faiths. Yeah, I think that's accommodatable. All right, New Days put the Freedom Restoration Foundation link in. Check that out. Now, it's not an organization you actually join, but you can join on Facebook or in MeWe if you're on Facebook. Just search for them. Survival Tribe Network. All right. Huge salute. Well, thank you. All righty, folks. Let's call it a night because it is, well, let's call it a morning. Thank you, Billy Kid, for the super chats. Thank you, mods, for all that you do. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Be sure to share my videos because, like I said earlier, we're not getting the notifications. Share my videos, share them far and wide. We need to get the word out because we do believe in prepping. It's just like the pagan nurse, pagan prepper, excuse me, pagan prepper. We're warriors here, but we're peace warriors. And we'll do what we have to do to defend ourselves, though. I definitely believe in that. So, General Sorrow, well, thank you, sir. And thank you, General Sorrow, for the super chat. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And to one and all, a good night or a good morning